Hey there, welcome back to Know This About Africa. Today, we're diving into an intriguing topic that's been making headlines lately. Africa is splitting into two. New photographs have revealed just how deep the damage is, as parts of Africa are physically tearing apart. Scientists say that this incredible process will eventually lead to the formation of a new ocean and give rise to a new continent. However, before we get into the details, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it with your friends to help us grow as a channel. So, let's understand how and why Africa is undergoing this monumental transformation. The phenomenon responsible for this split is known as rifting. It occurs when a single tectonic plate rips apart into two or more plates, creating divergent plate boundaries. This process can be traced back at least 138 million years, when Africa and South America were part of the same landmass. If you take a look at the west coast of Africa and the east coast of South America, you'll notice that they fit together like two puzzle pieces, indicating their previous connection. Now, fast forward to the present day. The Arabian Plate has been gradually drifting away from Africa for the past 30 million years, leading to the creation of the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. But the colossal breakup we're talking about is associated with the East African Rift System. This system consists of a 56-kilometer, 35-mile long crack that emerged in Ethiopia's desert back in 2005, stretching over several countries, including Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, and more. This rift will eventually trigger the formation of the world's sixth ocean. Scientists have discovered that the rift's formation is driven by similar tectonic processes occurring at the bottom of the existing oceans. This crack lies at the border of three tectonic plates: African Nubian, African Somali, and Arabian, which have already been separating over time. This East African Rift Valley runs for thousands of kilometers, dividing the African plate into two parts: the Somali and Nubian plates. Now let's talk about the timeline. While the headlines may make it sound imminent, the actual splitting won't happen anytime soon. The Arabian Plate is gradually shifting away from Africa at a rate of about 1 inch per year. So, it will take millions of years for Africa to be fully divided into two unequal parts. The formation of the new ocean itself will take an estimated 5 to 10 million years, which means some landlocked countries in Africa will eventually have their own coastlines. Now, assuming that nation-states still exist millions of years down the line, here's what we can expect. 6 landlocked countries, including Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Malawi, and Zambia, will inadvertently find themselves with coastlines. On the other hand, the smaller continent created by the rift will include present-day Somalia and parts of Kenya, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Djibouti, Tanzania, and Mozambique. However, geologists suggest that the smaller emerging continent may drift away from the rest of Africa, depending on how the rift progresses. This raises the possibility of new nations forming, old ones merging, or existing ones breaking apart. Additionally, geologists predict that Madagascar itself will break apart into smaller islands. If all goes as expected, the new ocean that may arise in another 5 or 10 million years could be named the African Ocean, giving the world an 8th continent. Now, let's consider the consequences and opportunities that this massive geological transformation will bring. For countries that were previously landlocked, having access to the sea will open up a world of advantages. They can now enjoy reduced international logistical expenses and establish shipping and fishing industries that were previously non-existent. These countries will build harbors to connect with the rest of the world directly. For instance, countries like Congo, Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi have long relied on neighboring Kenya's Indian Ocean port of Mombasa and Tanzania's port of Dar es Salaam for their sea freight and transportation. But with their own coastlines, they can finally establish direct connections and even benefit from subsea internet cables if the technology still exists by then. Undoubtedly, the emergence of new coastlines will unlock a myriad of opportunities for economic growth. Maritime activities will increase significantly, and there might even be shorter routes to other parts of the world. However, we should also consider the potential disadvantages. Will this be an advantage for Africa, or could it enable foreigners to take control of the new maritime routes and exploit them for their benefit? Furthermore, let's not forget about the impact on the environment and human populations. Africa is already the most affected region in terms of displacement, with numerous countries experiencing significant population movements. As the splitting process continues, communities, settlements, and various flora and fauna will be displaced. Climate change will further impact their habitats, leading to environmental degradation. Some species may become extinct, while others will become endangered due to changes in their habitats. Lastly, rapid urbanization and increased settlements will put pressure on natural resources, resulting in water, energy, and food scarcity. These challenges will need to be addressed as the transformation unfolds over millions of years. It's important to note that while the idea of Africa splitting into two might sound dramatic, the actual process occurs very slowly over millions of years. Most of the time, it happens without anyone even noticing. So, the departure of East Africa will just be another chapter in this vast geological storybook. Who knows if humanity will be around to witness these changes? But exploring the possibilities of the future is crucial, as it may arrive sooner than we think. What are your thoughts on Africa splitting into two? Leave a comment below, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with others. See you in the next video. In conclusion, the idea of Africa splitting into two is a fascinating concept that has captured the attention of scientists and the public alike. While it may take millions of years for this transformation to occur, the potential consequences and opportunities that come with it are worth exploring. The formation of a new ocean and the emergence of a new continent will undoubtedly reshape the landscape and create a whole new set of challenges and advantages for the countries involved. Landlocked nations will gain coastlines, opening up access to the sea and facilitating economic growth through shipping and fishing industries. The establishment of new trade routes and connectivity to the rest of the world could bring both benefits and potential risks. However, it's important to consider the long-term implications. The displacement of communities, changes in habitats, and the potential extinction of certain species highlight the environmental impact of such a monumental shift. Moreover, the pressures of rapid urbanization and increased settlements may strain natural resources, leading to scarcity of water, energy, and food. While the idea of Africa splitting into two presents a remarkable vision of the future, the slow nature of this process reminds us of the immense timescale involved. Whether humanity will be present to witness these changes is uncertain, but the discussion allows us to reflect on the potential consequences and explore ways to address them. As we delve into the possibilities of our planet's future, it is crucial to remain mindful of the impact of geological events on our environment and the need for sustainable practices. By understanding and preparing for the transformations that lie ahead, we can strive to create a future where both nature and human societies thrive. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the fascinating concept of Africa splitting into two. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help us grow as a channel. We look forward to bringing you more captivating topics about Africa in the future. See you next time.